My last video was the story of how I lost my college best friend to their unrequited crush on me. This video will be the story of how I lost my grad school best friend to his unrequited crush on me. Although these stories have similarities, I learned different things from them, so if you watched that one, this one won't be a retread. When I first moved to DC, I didn't know a lot of people, so I went to a public history department mixer. Towards the end of the evening, when I was preparing to leave, I suddenly hit it off with one of the second years and stayed for another hour and a half. We had great chemistry. Even the way we smiled at each other felt right. We started doing everything together. Trivia, pumpkin carving, museums, hiking, going to the gun range. There were points where I had to remind him that I'm a lesbian and that all of the vibes that he was feeling was just really good friendship. Like when I mentioned to him that I was going on a date with one of the PhD candidates, he seemed to take the hint. But then when the date didn't go as well as we'd hoped, he said that he was glad because he still liked me. That's not how lesbian works. Then there was the day that he and I spent studying for the final in the one class we had together, and then went back to his place to relax. We drank some adult beverages and watched some cartoons, and then he got cuddlier, and then he kissed me, showing me that he didn't respect my boundaries and wouldn't take no for an answer. That night I was only too glad to wash the smell of his apartment off my body and scrub the taste of beer from my mouth. I texted him to say that I didn't want him the way he wanted me. We agreed not to tell any of our mutual friends, and I started trying to put the incident behind me. After that, I was a lot warier around him. He'd already crossed one serious boundary, and I didn't trust him not to do it again. I tried never to be alone with him. For example, after we sat our final, we had plans to go out for Vietnamese, and I started inviting classmates to come with us. Anybody who was still coming out of the room or was loitering in the hall got a, "Oh hey, we're going out for fun, you want to come with us?" Sadly, no one wanted to make last-minute dinner plans in 20-degree weather. We walked the long way to the restaurant so we didn't have to pass by my house. I didn't want him anywhere near where I lived. After we ate, he offered me a ride in the Uber he'd ordered, but I turned him down, preferring to walk a half-mile in the cold than ride in a car with him. I don't remember how, but a couple of days after that, I learned that he'd not kept his word about not telling people. In the version he told, we'll call her Andrea, we'd kissed only for me to start acting weird for no reason. All over again, he showed me that he had no respect for me. Over winter break, I agonized over how I could make our friendship work, how I could make him understand the boundaries he'd crossed. Maybe my newly prescribed antidepressants had kicked in because I realized something. I was the one researching how to save our friendship. What was he doing? He was hoping I'd change my mind, my identity, my preferences. Once I realized that, I put down the Psychology Today articles and didn't lose any more sleep over it. Because you can't maintain any kind of relationship with someone who sees you for who they want to see rather than for who you are.